do movie nights, which would be fun. Yeah, we're watching movies. Also, just aside, mentioned close to a protocol video I just did, but I yeah, my webcam's been acting up and it just keeps wanting to cut out. So
I'm
I
kind of getting the
decided-
impression Doctor Strange is a little bit of a hoarder. I mean, just because it's magical junk doesn't mean it's not junk. You know what they call an artifact that only works in a pocket dimension once every 10,000 years? I don't know either, because I don't hoard junk.
when I get a chance to figure out why, I'll figure out that.
Are you lost? I know this entire situation's gotta suck for you. Not just the whole resurrected, chosen one thing. I get why facing Lilith won't be easy. I was 15 when I found out my mother was capital E evil.
Sorry to hear you went through that.
It was bad, but I learned to deal with it. It's the only way forward, right? Look, I'm glad my mother is gone, but yeah, at times I just want to hear her voice again. Some days I'd give anything to make that happen. Makes me hate her even more.
I did not realize you carried such pain.
I just learned to bury it. You think I can afford a therapist on a superhero salary? I'm kidding. We don't get paid for this. Enough about our crappy parents. You missed out on decades of good movies. It's my solemn duty to fill this knowledge gap with the best examples I can provide. So, the first thing you need to know, the glowing briefcase is a metaphor. I really needed that.
Oh.
So, what did you think of the movie?
I understood more than I should.
How? You've been dead for 3 centuries.
I'm not so sure I was dead. Not exactly. I recall a deep slumber, not the void. I dreamt.
Of what?
Of everything. Much of this world is familiar to me. I know it from my dreams.
That's not creepy at all. So, do you know everything?
No, Think of it like this. I know what a car is, but I have no idea how to drive.
You're up to date, but not omniscient. Then I'm guessing you don't know much about me.
Just what you shared earlier.
You're always free to ask. Like, what's the Staff of One? Or who were the Runaways?
I had some questions about your staff.
Sure. But first, the basics. The Staff of One interprets words or phrases as spells, but it can only cast a spell once. No repeats.
Can you tell me how the Staff of One functions?
It's, blood magic, so my own blood is required to summon it. You wouldn't believe how many adhesive bandages I go through each year.
What about the words you speak?
They come true. Kind of. And not always the way I expect. It's like making a wish, but you can never make the same wish again.
I had some questions about your old team.
The Runaways? Sure thing.
Were you all heroes who banded together?
No, we were normal kids. We saw each other once a year when our parents got together to reminisce. And then we found out 2 very disturbing things. First, our parents were supervillains who sacrificed children to evil gods. Second, each of us had some sort of powerful birthright. Our parents wanted us to follow in their footsteps.
What did you do?
We ran. But eventually, we realized only the 6 of us could stop our parents and their dark gods, so we faced them and stopped them from destroying reality as we know it. You know, typical kid stuff.
Who was on the team?
At first, Chase with his mad science gear, Molly, our pint-sized powerhouse, Carolina, the solar-powered sweetheart. Gert had a telepathic link to Old Lace, a genetically engineered Deinonychus from the 87th century. I handled the blood magic, though I didn't understand it much. And Alex, well, we don't talk about Alex.
Tragic.
Where are your friends now?
Molly attends Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. Carolina left Earth to marry alien nobility. Gert, she didn't make it. After Gert passed, Chase and I had a falling out. The last I heard, he and Old Lace are living at his family home in LA. As for Alex, he chose his side, and it wasn't ours. He died with our parents.
I should get going.
Good timing. Looks like Caretaker wants to speak with you, and wow, I should get to bed. Time flies when you're hanging out.
I'm glad to see you're using your free time productively.
Has other stuff popped up? Am I gonna have to roam around all the time? That's my bedroom. Because that's gonna be horrible. Oh, let's go talk to Sarah.
Whatever it is that Faustus knows, he's willing to make any sacrifice to protect it. The next time he's cornered, maybe his own life he's forced to take. Looks like you're finding your way around. Maybe making some new friends.
I was planning on getting some rest, but
Things are moving at a frantic pace. For all we know, I'll be landing a jet on the roof with Mr. Stark this afternoon. Not quite like it was in the good old days.
to stand still is to move back.
You got that one from Agatha. She used to say it all the time. I always preferred if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Used to.
I am sorry. I should have had this talk with you much sooner. But you should know... Agatha... she's no longer with us.
What? That is impossible. She was so...
Fierce, indomitable, or maybe just kind to a fault.
You do not have to do this.
Thank you, but I do. I haven't spoken to anyone about what happened. And more so than anyone, you deserve to know. Agatha died in an accident caused by her protege, Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. The Midnight Sun's latest recruit, a powerful spellcaster in her own right. Perhaps the most powerful Agatha and I had ever seen. Wanda's abilities were growing. Too quickly for my liking. Agatha was determined to help her control them. I tried to caution her, but she would not listen. There was an incident. An accident, I'm sure, but...
Agatha was killed.
Yes, incinerated in an instant. Not even ash to remember her by. The others were heartbroken, as was I. But I also saw the danger, the threat, if Wanda's powers were left unchecked. So I did what needed to be done. I sent Wanda away, to the Sanctum Sanctorum, to study under Dr. Strange. I know the others still harbor a great deal of resentment towards me for it.
These are like dark choices. Ooh. Might have to go with this one.
Was Wanda so different from me as a child? Was it that easy to send her away?
I didn't have a choice. Wanda's powers were beyond even her own control. And this time I had no Agatha to help me, as I had with you. I thought she would be safe with Strange. On that part, at least, I was clearly mistaken. Ah, Wanda. Agatha. It seems we've lost them both now. I conjured a small shrine to Agatha's memory on the grounds, hoping to find some solace, a way to move forward. You should pay your respects. Maybe you'll find what I couldn't. Good night, Hunter.
This one thing. Look at earlier.
Agatha?
You always did have the most remarkable eyes, Hunter. Just like your mother's. Maybe that's why you're the first.
The first?
To commune with the spirits, of course.
Is this a trick of some kind? Because I am not amused.
No, it's no trick, dear. You're just the first to see me. By now you've heard I had a bit of trouble with my corporeal body. I actually find it quite liberating.
You are dead.
Always straight to the heart of things. That's my Hunter.
You seem strangely at ease about this whole thing.
After 1,000 years of living, you learn to take things in stride. Even death.
And what have you been doing all this time?
Meet me by the cave just over there. You know the one.
The Blood Gate? Caretaker always told me to stay away from that place.
I think we can safely lift the veil on a few more of our secrets. What's the worst that can happen? This ominous-looking portal is known as a Blood Gate, and you're the only one among us who can pass through it.
Blood Gate? Caretaker's handiwork?
Yes, Sarah got a little overprotective after the accident with Wanda. It's become something of a habit for her.
I have noticed that.
What lies beyond is meant for you, as much as it ever was for her. Assuming you're up to the challenge, that is.
You know I am.
I do. But it's always polite to ask.
That is something.
Not what you were expecting, is it? There was a time when the blood stood within these celestial halls to prove their worth. This particular arena belongs to a goddess who often favored Sarah, Ashtor.
Sarah? caretaker was here?
Nothing ever comes easy, dear. The Elder Gods felt their descendants needed to earn their blessings, which is why they created these trials to begin with.
Trials? I should have known.
This entire realm exists for that purpose. Trial by combat, with no chance of outside interference. Yes, but I may have found a loophole they never considered. Why don't you try summoning your four-legged friend?
Charlie?
The old gods are responsible for a great many creations, including your faithful companion. I think even they tend to forget that. Good luck, dear. As the goddess of balance and order, Ashtor was sometimes called the giver of justice. You can expect a fair fight, or at least her idea of one.
Leave some for the rest of us. Now that was something. You were too weak for this fight. Your mother abandons you.
Compared to our girl, these hellhounds are nothing but mindless beasts. Don't hesitate to strike. They certainly won't.
Feel my call.
Good girl, Charlie. Oh, and you too, Hunter. You finished this trial, but don't worry. The other gods are waiting.
mushrooms. Wanda's turn. Agatha was just as surprised as I was when it happened. There's shrines out in the grounds, blood magic. You're not supposed to just walk right in there. But once again, well, here we are. She told me not to worry, but how can I not worry? Trying to gain the blessing was true without facing her trial. I didn't even know what I was looking for, really. Just some way I could help. Whatever, at least now I can get into Magic's room when she locks me out. Skip allows magical rocks and gates to be open. Open will allow you to access new areas of the Abbey and its grounds which are blocked by magical moves.
Sarah was right to be wary of this place. But it's your birthright, and I think after everything you've been through, you can handle it now. The two of you, as well as your mother, are the last of your kind, the Blood. Your lineage follows an unbroken line to the old gods themselves. And if you call upon them, you might just find they're actually listening. They won't work miracles for you, but their blessings can be quite useful in the right circumstance. Why don't you ask the goddess Ashtur for her aid in dealing with that barrier over there?
Blessings of the goddess.
How do I get arcane keys? Look at that. Didn't mean to do that. That was
Must
an
not
accident.
be her purview.
After all this time, it's still just as beautiful as the first time I laid eyes on it. It's hard to believe Lilith and Caretaker brought this place all the way from Transia. Of course, it was no coincidence that they wound up so close to Salem. This area is particularly attuned to the forces of magic. That's why the Elder God's influence was so prevalent here. And why our sanctuary here has remained all but impregnable over the centuries. And now I'm rambling on like an old sorcerer supreme. Why don't you come see me in the library tomorrow night? Oh, and let's keep this just between the two of us for now. I'm afraid Sarah, Caretaker, isn't ready to see me yet. Good night, Hunter.
Is this thing on? Hunter, please come to the forge at your earliest convenience. Again, that's Hunter to the forge. Thank you. Strange out.
We can find it. Whatever. Where is the good doctor?
Hey, for someone they just dug up, you look pretty fresh.
Thank you. Did I get a new card?
Hunter, just in time. His royal weirdness and I were deciding what to do with that nasty little Hydra gift box you found.
Ah, yes. The spooky crate.
The very one. Though it is far from any mere container, I assure you. I am detecting powerful emanations from inside. If this is a sign of what Hydra is after, I fear we are all in grave danger.
My offer still stands. I could fly the thing up and nuke it in orbit. Only way to be sure.
Or we could open it, Tony, and perhaps use the mystical energies I sense inside to our advantage.
Yeah, I heard a "we" in there. Green goopy gamma serums are one thing. I'm not opening boxes full of mummy curses.
You don't have to. Hunter, if you'll allow me.
Your second funeral, boss.
That was a reference to the movie Aliens for those who might have recognized that. Only way to be sure.
That is something.
We desperately need to get into this crate. If Hydra is now working to acquire mystical antiquities, then our situation is very dire indeed. We need to find a way to gain the upper hand.
And you think you can do it with whatever is in the container?
Tony has one of the greatest scientific minds that I've ever seen. I, of course, have an unparalleled understanding of the mystic arts. I have no doubt that we can find a way to research whatever we find in there and have it work in our favor. I just wonder what it could be.
Do you think this will be enough to give us an edge?
I hope so. Whatever it is, it's quite powerful. I'm relying on my instincts here, but truly that's all I have to rely on until I can find a way to access the Sanctum's archives again.
That seems a bit risky.
Right now, with the Sanctum out of my reach, I'm fighting with one hand tied behind my back. Metaphorically, that is. If I can find items to research, I can give the Midnight Suns every possible advantage over Lilith and her disciples.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with.
Me too, Hunter. Now, all this talk is going nowhere unless we can get this container open and study what's inside. Step up to the anvil, Hunter. It doesn't bite. There's more to this workspace than meets the eye, Hunter. These flames aren't born of any fire. Up to Tony, you'd probably be stuffing that item into some machine right about now. Very impersonal. By the hoary hosts of Hoggoth, I can hardly believe it.
What? Is it worse than you expected?
No, it's totally unexpected. It's the Eternity Dagger. This was in a place of honor in my bedchamber in the Sanctum for years. The Sanctum Sanctorum is no common domicile to be burglared. These barbarians have no idea what they possessed.
Or perhaps they did. Maybe these artifacts are exactly what Faustus and my mother were after to begin with.
A distressing thought. If they had my dagger, then who knows what others of my priceless possessions have passed through their greedy fingers. The cube of nothingness. The tear of Profia, and most worrisome of all.
Your toothbrush? You, had a little coffee thing going on this morning with your breath?
Oh, Tony.
Sorry. Doc's right, Hunter. I drank 3 glasses of holy water just to walk through the Sanctum's front door. Place is like a doomsday vault for all sorts of supernatural nastiness. We need to put a lid on this mess. Pronto.
I believe Carol is already working on it.
At last. Now that this artifact has been returned to its proper owner, we shall see if we can make use of the mystic forces contained within.
Hey, Hunter. Got a sec to spare?
Good girl, Charlie. Who's a good girl? It is my Charlie girl.
you've been here more in the past few days than I have since ever. The forge is pretty badass, but the creature trapped inside riles up my own inner demon. Speaking of, there's something you should know about me.
You are bonded with the spirit of vengeance?
Damn, you're good. How could you tell?
You are not the first spirit of vengeance to join the Midnight Suns. I fought beside another just a few days... 3 centuries ago.
Oh man, sometimes when I have crap to work through, I like to get my blood pumping. Why don't we hit the yard for a sparring session? I know Sparky's excited to meet you.
Sparky?
That's what I call my spirit of vengeance. His real name is something you'd see written on a symbol, but with like 12 apostrophes. Also, he's not allowed inside after the incident with caretaker Sumerian Sofa.
It would be my honor to spar with a spirit of vengeance.
Wow, he's real excited. Never thought he'd get bouncy, but here we are. Okay, let's do this. I'll get Blade to set things up. Won't take a minute.
I will head to the yard. When you and Sparky trade places, what does he look like?
He's the guy with the flaming metal skull and hellfire chains. Kinda hard to miss.
Yeah, the light option and dark option, you can choose for neither. I'm going forward, I'm not going to do the neither option, I'm just trying to test it out.
Hunter, ready to get your burn on?
Hunter, report to the war room. We've got a mission.
So we don't actually spar, we just do it once a day. Thanks.
I'm game for another round if you are.
Got a minute, Hunter? Crazy world you woke up to, Hunter. Hydra running around causing trouble, apocalypse prophecies, the Bronx.
It is indeed, Daywalker.
And that op against Faustus. The way Captain Marvel just absorbed that bomb. Unbelievable, isn't it?
That bomb was clearly meant for me. I am in her debt.
Yeah, but I don't think she sees it that way. She just saves people. Amazing. Smart, quick-witted, fearless. Hell, she even glows.
And do you find all of your allies equally impressive?
Yes. No. Wait. What are you trying to say?
You are not used to expressing feelings of affection, are you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
My apologies.
And if I did, this ain't my first rodeo, you know?
Of course it is not. Whatever a rodeo is.
Yeah. Well, now that that's settled, maybe I should go sharpen my stakes or something. And maybe we should keep this chat to ourselves for now.
Hello.
You called for me, Captain?
Keep telling ya, Carol works too, but yeah, I did. Now that Tony's finally starting to get a handle on his gremlin problem, I've been able to put Central to good use. Got a lead on some particularly gnarly Hydra operations happening in the city, but we need to move fast if we want to intercept them in time.
Then let us get going.
My thoughts exactly. There's just one problem, though. We seem to have lost our gatekeeper, Magic.
Lost?
Well, I updated her on the mission. She said something I can only assume to be a prolific swear word in Russian and disappeared. Literally. And with no magic...
There is no passage to New York. Or anywhere, for that matter.
Now you see my problem.
Do not worry, Captain. I will locate and alert her of the team's needs.
There's that can-do, get-it-done, old-timey prophesied savior of humanity attitude I was hoping to see today. Still, you better hurry. Not sure how long Hydra will remain in their current position.
Then I shall make haste.
Yes, you hasten as much as you can, Hunter.
If you've come to ask me where Magic is, the answer is I don't know. She doesn't talk to me very much anymore. She blames me for Wanda. I fear if she doesn't let her.
How's the chicken mushroom? Actually look at the map. I know what this is now. I've done that before. It's Roger's garage.
Noble Oshtu.
Alright, that's what that is. That worked correctly. So, where the hell are you, Ilyana?
Oshtur smiles upon me.
Oh, I didn't even see that. Shield probably holds the scales of justice in one hand and her briefcase in the other. Ready to face the courtroom. This card represents justice and fairness in righting the wrongs of the world. My favorite days are those with Agatha. She even talks more than Sarah sometimes, but it doesn't feel like a drawling lecture. She's always smiling, and her face lights up when she tells me about all of the plants, trees, and mushrooms I've come across. Every time I find myself excited to share the healing properties of moonflowers or dryad saddle. Agatha tells me that one day knowing these things will come in handy. For now, it's just fun to learn. I said I'm sorry so many times that I might as well say it here too. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened out there. Agatha and I train Everalder all the time. Something was different. Somehow this time I lost control. Agatha could have been hurt, and it would have been my fault. Damn, I need to figure this stuff out. Caretaker is looking at me the same. Agatha makes it look so easy, and I just make everything harder. We'll find a way to draw the elemental energy back to the altar, and we'll try it again. We always do. Somehow I broke the cauldron. I wasn't even in the library today. Death stands before the black vortex, surrounded by the prized infinity stones, tempting us with the possibility that this sky represents transformation and entering into the maze of one's life. I'm betting this is going to be a pretty slow. Davina knows the way in which the wheel will turn. It shows the answer in the front playing card she displays. This card represents luck and good fortune along with opportunity in the future.
The goddess of order approves. This looks like a fairy ring. The gods are fickle.
Obviously, I'm going to have something to look and break through the walls later on.
It is one of the elemental rods.
Four stone. Namor wields his trident with power, but remains tranquil in his strength below water. This card represents solitude and finding the answer sought from within one's own self. Where are you, Liliana?
Just what I was looking for.
Hunter.
Have you seen...
No.
All right.
Oh, we're gonna talk to people. Ha! Ha ha ha!
Yo!
Robbie, have you seen magic?
No, but there were some pretty crazy energy flashes coming from the dorms a few minutes ago. Usually means she wants to be left alone. Trust me on that.
Thanks, Robbie.
Hunter?
This room belonged to the Scarlet Witch, did it not?
Wanda. It belongs to Wanda. Let me guess. You are to ask me to do the one thing the others value me for. Opening their precious portal. Well, I am in the middle of something. Come back later.
It is never easy to lose a comrade. I know this too well.
We did not lose Wanda. We let her go. Before any of this started. Wanda's first grimoire. Agatha gave it to her when she was teaching her witchcraft, the dark arts. She was trying to help Wanda control her powers. She would never let me read it. So now I read it.
No good ever comes from a book like that. Trust me.
Funny. You sound like Wanda. She was also afraid of her power. I can almost hear her scolding me for invading her privacy. But I've done far worse than to rummage through someone else's things. Far worse. And so have you. I know what she's going through. To come face to face with true evil itself. To be dragged to some hell dimension so hot that your soul is scorched black. Your heart so filled with soot that it chokes out all the bright parts of you. Until you are just a dark thing of smoke and ash. I cannot let such a fate happen to her.
We will find her. I can feel it.
And just who will find her? Caretaker? The Avengers? Do not try to fool me with your false empathy, Hunter. I know Caretaker will never waste resources looking for her.
Ilyana, just open the portal.
You are like an Avenger. All you do is take, take, take. You expect too much. Okay, I will open your damn portal. It is times such as this that I wish someone else here could drill holes through space and time. Perhaps Doctor Strange should spend less time tinkering with Tony Stark in the Forge and focus more on his magic. No matter. I will be there when you are ready, Hunter. Goodbye. Fine, speak.
That looks good.
Yeah, she's a big tough to befriend. But on that note, that's where we're going to stop for today. I know there wasn't a lot of fighting, any at all story. I've heard there's going to be days like that with this game, so...
We don't have much
That is what it is. I'm really enjoying the story, so it makes this fun to play. So. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. It means a lot, and I really appreciate it. Until next time, take care. Love you guys. Hope to see you again soon. Later.